Hi everyone, welcome back to the Grape Explorer. Today is a first for this channel. I've never done a blind tasting on camera before. I've always known what's in the bottle, but today is a little bit different. I'm going to be tasting 3 Sauvignon Blancs and picking out a favourite. If you're new to this channel, welcome. This is the Grape Explorer. Here we do wine education, product reviews and lots of wine tastings. So if you're interested in all things wine, consider subscribing. Yes, on this channel I've tasted lots of bottles before and enjoyed many of them of course, but I've never done it blind and I thought that would be a really fun challenge for me to undertake. I've picked out 3 bottles that cost less than $12 and we're going to give them a bit of a comparison. In case you're wondering what $12 equates to, I've put some currency conversions on the screen for you now. I've picked Sauvignon Blanc as my wine of choice for today for a couple of reasons. One, I haven't had Sauvignon Blanc in a while, so I thought it would be a good idea to compare something I haven't been drinking recently. And 2, it's a lovely day out, so I actually just can't wait to get these drunk afterwards. Now obviously I would know what I went out and bought earlier today, but I have bagged them up, and to be extra safe I've put a little bit of tape around the top so I really can't distinguish one bottle from another. As I said, all of these cost less than $12, so let's get on with the blind tasting. Now for me, blind tasting is a great way to put everything on a level playing field. You're not swayed by the bottles, the prices, the labels, the country of origin. You really are looking at this from the perspective of a blank canvas, which means you're not going to be swayed and start to think about some of the aromas that you might associate with a particular style from a particular country. As I said, I've got 3 here. Now I will say to you up front, I've got 1 from New Zealand, 1 from Chile and 1 from France. But I really don't know what is in each bottle. I've been swapping them around for the last hour or so. In fact, we'll do this again a little bit more just to show that I really don't have an idea what is going to be in these. But I might as well start with the one that's in my hand. So let's see how we get on. I'm just going to pour a little bit into my glass here. Okay, now I'm just going to pour a little bit into my glass. Part of that's because I want to drink more of it later, but I want to give these a really good swirl in the glass, really start to get some of those aromas coming through. So this one in the glass is a particularly pale lemon, a slight sort of lemon going on gold, but we'll call it pale lemon. Now the aromas that are coming through on this one. This one's definitely at that gooseberry end of Sauvignon Blanc. Really enjoyable aromas actually. Gooseberry, bit of passion fruit perhaps, is what's sort of overriding on this one. You know, what I expect from Sauvignon Blancs is going to be very much dependent upon the country. They range from sort of lime, gooseberry aromas through to passion fruit. I quite like the grassy aromas that you often get associated with Sauvignon Blanc. I remember having one before that smelled like I'd walked into a greenhouse full of tomato plants. That was always really enjoyable. But this one for me is definitely on perhaps the warmer end of the scale. I don't know if that's going to give much away or not at all. Taste-wise, smacks of fruit. I was hoping for a bit more acidity, if I'm being perfectly honest with you. Lovely fruit flavours though, light-bodied of course. Sort of light alcohol as well for me, this one. So that's number 2. Enjoyable, definitely. Very fruit forward. Not so much of the grassy type aromas, much more on the fruity side of things. So that was bottle number 1. I'm going to have to remember these, aren't I? So let's move on to bottle number 2. Bit of a glugger as it came out, that one. Okay, oh cheers. Right. Moving on to number 2 then. So colour wise, again very similar. Pale lemon in colour. Nice and easy. On the aromas, not as in your face as the last one. A little bit more refined if I was going to say anything at all. A little bit easier on the nose perhaps. And for me this one is slightly more grassy, a little bit limier actually, which may suggest a cooler climate. But for me this one's a little bit more elegant than the last one. So taste wise, much more acidity on this one. I really got an acidity explosion in the mouth actually, that was quite lip smacking. Yeah, I can still get that sensation now. But light bodied, very enjoyable. Still very much on the fruit side. with a hint of some grassy aromas on that one. And what I'll do at the end is come up with my comparison. So that's number 2, we'll put that one there. And then this is number 3, this is our last one here. Okay, we'll just pour a little bit out. So this is number 3. Again, colour-wise, these have all been very similar in colour. We're talking about pale lemon. But I think this one, you know, when it comes to blind tasting, it's all about the aromas and the tastes. And often, obviously, you're swayed by your own preferred style of wine. You know, I have a way that I enjoy my Sauvignon Blancs. And this one on the aromas is probably giving me what I enjoy the most from a grassiness perspective, a plant leaf kind of perspective. Yeah, this one definitely feels a little bit more like walking down a meadow on a hot summer's day. You can smell the vegetation. Now, interestingly, on the palate, this one has really nice acidity, but this one to me felt a little bit smoother on the palate as well. It just felt that little bit more refined, a little bit softer perhaps. Very enjoyable. So let's talk about those aromas. Definitely grassier. Grassier, tomato leaf. It's still, to me, quite a limey one as well. So that's quite enjoyable. So with all 3 tasted, I'm just going to go through one final sniff and just sort of summarise each one. So going from number 3 back to number 1. Yeah, this one's definitely on the warmer fruit side for me. This one starts to move into the passion fruit type aromas. And it is very enjoyable. The second one had more gooseberry, a little bit more lime, and felt like it perhaps came from a cooler climate. This wine in glass number 1 felt like it came from, cheers. This wine in glass number 1 to me felt a little bit warmer. So that's number 2. And then moving on to number 3 here. Yeah, this is probably the one that I've enjoyed the most of the 3. So fascinating tasting. There are definitely some differences to call out with these Sauvignon Blancs. They are actually all individual, and it's great that I'm able to get wines globally here locally, because it just means I get to try all of these different styles. So funnily for me, and I know you shouldn't order these things first, second, third, so I'm going to say second runner-up. Second runner-up would be number 1, so that was this one here. So let's take a look and see what this one was. Now this is the moment, of course, where I think, have I guessed the right, have I gotten the right types of aromas, of course. But this particular one, yeah, this is Cowrie Bay from New Zealand. It's a Marlborough Sauvignon Blanc. Aromas of wild gooseberry, basil and lime evident on the bouquet. To me, I actually thought the aromas were a little bit warmer than that. The palate is fresh and vibrant and blessed with mouth-watering grapefruit, capsicum and crunchy apple. And again, I thought the acidity was good on this one, but it wasn't my overall favourite. So that's Cowrie Bay from New Zealand. Number 2, as I said, was the middle one, so let's call it runner-up number 1. That would be this one here. This is the Sauvignon Blanc from Aconcagua Valley in Chile, 2020 vintage. A fresh and vibrant Sauvignon Blanc with zesty notes of lime and tropical fruit. Now, I definitely called out the lime on this particular one. I did really enjoy this one. I felt it was a little bit more refined than the first one. This is from a producer by the name of The Great Wave. Absolutely love the graphic on this one as well. So that can only leave one that I enjoyed the most, which I felt was the most refined one, the one that felt the most refined on the palate. It had those grassy, limey aromas that I was really enjoying, and that is Le Grand Ballon from the Loire Valley in France, Sauvignon Blanc 2020. The Grand Ballon is made from the finest grapes in the Loire Valley, crisp and fragrant. The white wine is deliciously fresh and fruity. And to me, this one was a little bit more refined. I really enjoyed the acidity on this one, but it was those grassy aromas. And as I say, you know, that's a bit of a personal choice. That's what I enjoy in a Sauvignon Blanc. I like the kind of grassiness that comes with it, rather than the more tropical fruits. So there we go. There is a blind taste of 3 Sauvignon Blancs, all under $12. I hope you found this enjoyable. Let me know if you'd like to see more blind tasting on this channel, and give me your thoughts on Sauvignon Blanc whilst you're at it as well. For now, I'm the Grape Explorer. Look forward to seeing you again soon. Cheers!